Because whether you're Democrats or Republicans, we all want families to be safe. We all want to drop them off at the house of worship, a mall, a movie, a school door, without worrying that's the last time we're ever going to see them. We all want our kids to have the freedom to learn, to read and to write, instead of learning how to duck and cover in a classroom. And above all, we all agree we are not finished. We are not finished. We are not finished.
It's been nearly 1 year since President Biden signed into law an historic gun reform agreement known as the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Yesterday, the president said the law is already having an effect on violent crime, but he renewed his push for stronger restrictions at a gun safety summit in Hartford, Connecticut. Over on Capitol Hill, House Democrats are also rejoining that fight by putting pressure on the Republican majority. This week, lawmakers introduced 3 discharge petitions aimed at forcing a vote on an assault weapons ban and other measures. Joining me now is a leader in that fight, Georgia Congresswoman Lucy McBath, whose 17-year-old son, Jordan Davis, was shot and killed in 2012. Congresswoman McBath, thank you very much for coming to the Saturday show. Nice to see you again. Talk to me about the action that's happening in the House right now. What are y'all trying to do?
Well, earlier this week, I, myself, and through 2 other colleagues, many of my colleagues and activists and gun violence survivors, we led the charge for petitions for an assault weapons ban, also for federal background checks for all gun sales, and also closing the Charleston loophole. Basically, what the discharge petitions do is it forces a vote on the House floor on these measures as long as a majority of my colleagues actually sign the petitions. So what we're actually in the discharge petition is not used that frequently, but in times of great need, when we have to make sure that the American public understands and knows that, we are doing everything in our power to keep them safe. This is a form of policy that we are using to force our Republican colleagues to take a vote on these life-saving measures.
What's the possibility, Congresswoman, of some of your Republican colleagues, maybe the Republican colleagues who were elected in districts that President Biden won in the presidential election, signing on to your discharge petition?
Well, I can't speak for my Republican colleagues, but what I do know is that the American public is sick and tired of being sick and tired. Enough is enough. I cannot tell you how many survivors I talk to and work with every single day. The biggest concern that people have, young people, families, mothers, that they have is that they do not feel safe to live in this country. And so I'm hoping that my Republican colleagues will join us in doing what's right, doing what we took an oath to do, is to protect and serve our communities. And I hope that they will join us in this really these are life-saving moments, Jonathan.
Well, right. And to your point, Congresswoman, a Fox News poll from April revealed that a majority, and not just over 50%, but overwhelming majorities of voters favor gun restrictions, including background checks for guns, enforcing existing gun laws, legal age to 21 to buy all guns, require mental health checks, flag people who are a danger to themselves, requiring a 30-day waiting period. And that waiting period support is 77%, and that's the lowest. Why do you think, Congresswoman, that even given that overwhelming public support, that your colleagues on Capitol Hill won't act in their behalf?
Well, Jonathan, I can't honestly tell you because of what you just mentioned. A lot of that is what we were able to pass last summer, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Law that the president signed into law. The only rationale that I can come up with is the NRA gun lobby. The gun manufacturers, they're just continuing to put profit over public safety. And that's shameful. That's unconscionable. When all of our constituents, there's not any of my colleagues that have people in their districts that have not somehow been affected personally by gun violence or know someone who's been affected by gun violence. Mm-hmm. It is unconscionable that our constituents have to live in fear every single day. It's just not right.
Congresswoman, one more thing I want to talk to you about, and that is an op-ed piece you wrote about A.J. Owens, the Florida mother who was shot and killed by a neighbor, and you criticized so-called stand your ground laws. There were such laws in 24 states when your son, Jordan Davis, was killed in 2012 because his music was too loud. Those stand your ground laws are now in 38 states. What does this say about the direction our country is headed in or is in, and why do you believe this is happening?
Well, it's a sad state of affairs when we are loosening our gun restrictions. You know, of course, the stand your ground laws were derivative of the Castle Doctrine, that you have the ability to be able to protect your home or protect, you know, the confines of work. But the loosening of those restrictions is the stand your ground laws, which basically releases you from a duty to retreat. And so there again, you look at the impact that that the gun manufacturers, the inter-gun lobby have on the ability to loosen the restrictions and as to how people are able to use their guns. They're able to shoot first, ask questions later, understand your ground, how people are able to purchase guns, permitless carry, all the things that we're dealing with. This has just become such a horrific culture that we're living in, and it just has to be reckoned with. We have to deal with this. The American people deserve better.